Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and of course, my number one son, Michael Anthony Holmes. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because of that, you guys, this just doesn't work, man. You know, I'm sitting here in good old DC traffic, and it sucks as bad as the Washington Redskins. Now, I got to tell you, some sad news to report. Hopefully, it'll finish off a little bit better. But Lincoln Coleman, a fullback for the Dallas Cowboys back in that first Super Bowl year of the 90s, is missing. He did an interview back in 2013 where he was talking about his worry about all the hits he took. He was about 270 pounds, and he was basically a battering ram. And this is one of those cases where football is a brutal sport. And when you watch football, you don't realize that these players are human and that they hurt and that they have complications down the road. He has got mental issues. He has to take medication. And this is not the first time he's been missing before. And he's been missing since Friday. And I'm hoping they find him because they say that he needs medication that he's not getting right now. And this is where football really has to do more. It has to do more for the players after their careers are over, as well as try and figure out what we can do to minimize the effects of these hits and things. Football is, you're never going to take away all the dangers and all the injuries. You can't. It's that violent of a game. But we have to really do more to try and minimize the effects as much as possible. You know, I've talked about the zero-G helmet. I'm curious to see, I believe 84 players wore that helmet this past year. If they've started to do studies on whether or not that helmet helped, and if they're doing more researches in different ways to help minimize that. I still believe, and I was talking with Ray Ellis about this, that part of the problem also too is training. Now that the collective bargaining has gone through where you have less practices and things and where you're not actually tackling guys, to me, you've got more guys that are just looking to headhunt and use their head just to deliver a blow instead of actually tackling the way we used to learn how to tackle. We used to learn to go across the body with your helmet and wrap up and take a guy to the ground, as opposed to now you see all these safeties that they're just trying to go ahead and lay a shoulder or a helmet into a guy's head and dislodge the ball. And to me, that is where you're getting these violent collisions. I'm not saying that that's the be-all, end-all answer to it, but to me, it just doesn't look like the skill is there. It's just, I'm just going to knock somebody the F out. And the more you do that, and the more you have these violent hits that bounce off the turf, that you see these concussions. And I love football. I don't want to see football go away, but they're really going to have to do stuff about this. You know, I'm looking at my childhood heroes, you know, guys like Tony Dorsett that are beginning to get dementia and things. A lot of you don't see that because, you know, you're younger. Michael, you don't know really who Tony Dorsett is and things. But when you start seeing these guys after football,
I know who Tony Dorsett is if I saw him.
Yeah, but
when I don't know his story, but I know who he is.
One of the greatest running backs in the NFL. But right now, he has pretty. But you don't know if you have CTE currently until the person is dead and they do an autopsy. But it's pretty much a given that they believe he's got the effects of CTE. Basically, it's like your brain turns to cement from all of the hits and stuff in there. Now, they're developing and they're learning more and more things. I talked about a test that they're developing at George Mason University, that there's a enzyme or something that's released in your brain that gets into your saliva. Yeah, a protein, that's it, Michael, thank you. A protein that's released that's only in your brain except when you have a concussion. And they're learning on ways that they can do a saliva test and possibly develop into your mouth guards that instantly and you get a concussion, they'll know, because ultimately, once you get a concussion, you get more and more damage as that concussion goes. David Irving admits he got concussed early in the game but continued to play, and you have to wonder, had he come out, would he have missed the last 4 games of the season? So, prayers for Lincoln Coleman. I hope they find him. I hope they can get him some help that he needs and everything else. But remember, people, when we see those great hits, where guys are getting jacked up and stuff, don't forget, these are people too that need a quality of life. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Michael Anthony Fitness. Be sure to check out his page as well, man, because his don't laugh videos, I'd have a hard time not laughing at them. I'll see you guys soon.